Hey guys, welcome back to Print Forts. It's been a little while, but we're finally back.
Today we'll be showing you how we made the armorer's helmet from the Mandalorian show.
Of course we made some mistakes, but nothing too crazy this time, so let's get into it. The first thing we have to do is find a free STL file online, which we did here. The link will be in the description. This design is not the best, it's a little bulky for what we're going for, but it looks good online, so we decided to print it. Since we're going to be printing on a Corality V3 SE, we're going to have to slice it into 6 pieces. Unlike our previous helmet we made, we printed the head and bottom separate, and it caused some alignment issues. Instead, we decided to pivot it so it prints the whole front of the mask first, so we have perfect alignment when we glue it together. Once we finish the prints, peel them off our build plate, we have to remove the excess supports and deburr it. While we're doing it, the plastic is also very sharp, so we ended up cutting ourselves a few times. After we got all the supports removed, it was time to put it together. When we originally put together our Mandalorian helmet previously, we used plastic welding instead of gluing it together. That was a big mistake, so we're gonna glue it together. We used some super glue that I picked up at my local Walmart, spent a little bit over an hour gluing it all together, and it turned out pretty good.
So with our last helmet, we used 60 grit sandpaper to start, and it just completely destroyed the helmet. Like, not entirely, but it left enough marks that we had to go through and basically try to fix it. So instead we used 120 grit sandpaper. We then took automotive primer and sprayed it on. We did that entire process twice. After this, we tried to attach the horns onto the top of the helmet, but we realized they just weren't big enough. We then actually had to reprint them twice to find the size we wanted. So to attach the horns to the helmet, we took wood filler and some water, mixed that together, and we got a paste. We just used that paste to attach the horns, and honestly, it worked better than glue. So since we already had this paste, we went around the helmet really quick just to add it to some parts that we felt like it was needed. Once all that paste that we put on dried, we sprayed it just a quick layer of white paint. Once the white paint dried, we then sprayed on some primer, and once that dried, we wet sanded it. And now we're on to the actual official painting stage.
Before we start painting the helmet, we need to wipe it down to remove any of the dust or plastic left over from sanding. Finally, moving on to painting the helmet, we grabbed a can of Rust-Oleum from our local Walmart. We wanted a bronze look for the base coat, and it actually turned out pretty good. Once we had a good base coat of the bronze, we moved on to spraying with the Fusion Gold because we couldn't find the Rust-Oleum Gold. It was nowhere to find in our Walmart. We sprayed it on lightly, not to overpower the bronze. After letting it dry for a little bit, we can move on to the next stage, hand painting, which we're still pretty new at, so please don't make fun of us. We started out mixing copper and black with a little bit of water to dilute it. We covered the entire helmet in this mix, then wiped it down while also leaving some paint behind to give it a nice detailed effect. We also went back and wiped down a couple of areas we wanted the gold to stand out. Then we mixed the black together with a smidge of gold, a little bit of water. And we did the same thing as before. We covered the entire helmet and wiped it down. Then we got some gold paint and went back to those areas we left behind earlier and lightly painted them on. But then we realized it looked like mustard, so we just wiped it off. At this point, we were taking so long, it started getting dark outside. But we were able to still paint the horns silver, but then the next day we painted them with a little bit of black and water, trying to mix them together, giving it a better look, but it ended up not working. Instead, we removed just about all of the silver and brought it back down to the gold base and primer. So after this mistake, I repainted the silver on, did 3 layers, and tried the same system again. Put the black on with a little water, and it did the same thing. It rinsed it away. So we just gave up and painted it silver and called it a day. After that disaster, we just sprayed some clear coat on it from Rust-Oleum, and it turned out pretty good. The last thing we have to do is add the tint.
So instead of using Walmart tint like we did in the previous video, we decided to go on Amazon and simply just order a welder's face shield. We traced the helmet's face opening onto a piece of paper. We then taped that piece of paper onto the welder's shield, and then we started cutting it out. It was definitely a struggle, and I almost cut myself yet again, but we managed to do it. Tadzi did it. I did not do it because I was going to cut myself. It took a few tries to actually get it into the helmet correctly, but we finally did it. We started out with super glue, but honestly it kept falling out, so we didn't really know what we were gonna do. I saw some Scotch tape in front of me and we just did that. And honestly, it turned out so much better than if we used any kind of glue.
Overall, we were very happy with how it turned out. Definitely much better than our previous helmet. We didn't even need to add a second part to the video of all of our mistakes like our original helmet. We're definitely improving. Sorry for it taking so long. Our lives got kind of in the way, but we're back and we are making videos and we're trying to post as much as we can. So thank you for tuning in and watching our video. We have some exciting new projects that we're working on. Well, hopefully we'll be sharing with you pretty soon. But overall, have a good one. Peace out. Let's go.